the Rose Parade. It's an amazing spectacle of beauty, and over 1 million people will be there in person to watch the parade, as well as over 48 million people watching it from the comfort of their home. But do you know what it actually takes to get those magnificent floats onto Colorado Boulevard so that you can see them? Well, Lynn and I will pull back the curtain and you'll see exactly what goes on behind the scenes. Stay with us because you won't want to miss this. We're out in front of the gate. It's the Rose Bowl float decorating area. So here we go.
Nope. Thank you, everyone. Make sure I show your wristbands.
Here's where all the magic happens for the Rose Parade.
Look at that over there. All the little vials.
How long do your flowers live?
Wow, that's why we have our bio team. As long as they got the water, the nutrients they need, they last as long as you need them to.
How long have they been working on the floats?
We've been working on the floats for at least the past 6 months. We have welder teams, carpenter teams,
Right.
we have mechanics, the whole works. Then as soon as we get everything all put together, our art team comes in, so does our floral department. We all start construction, everything, but everything starts from the beginning with our engineers.
And welcome to Artistic Entertainment Services. My name is Leslie Foxvo. We have 11 floats. What is the theme?
Music something.
Yes, very good. Celebration of music. It's the universal language. Almost all the floats. So what happens is in February, this coming February, we're going to get the parade theme for 25. Basically, that's the start when the tournament president tells what type of theme they would like for the parade. So last February, we got that. We're working with our sponsors to decide what kind of concepts they want for their floats and how they are going to celebrate the theme. There are several sizes of floats, all different awards. There's 21 at least. There's short floats, there's big floats, but every float is eligible for sweepstakes. But then it really wouldn't be fair if you have some company like Donate Life or Dole or Neutrina who's putting in $500,000 for their parade float up against La Cañada Flintridge, which is a city, and all of their funds are raised from the community or generous donors. That's incomparable. It does not fit. It's not fair. So there's an award for the best city or the best float that's raised by volunteer funds versus a commercial. So several different opportunities to win craftsmanship, floral craftsmanship, best use of roses, sweepstakes, and a lot of different awards for the different categories. So February starts, we pick chassis, we pick the design. It's a paint by number. So we build the float based on how we decide what materials are going to cover. A red surface can only be a couple of different things, depending upon whether it is screen or wood. So if it's screen, we might be able to use seeds or flowers. If it's wood, it's only seed because we can't poke a flower into it, but we can glue a mum to it. So it depends on the color. Blue is the hardest. There are blue flowers, but most of the ones that are blue are very vulnerable. They shrink, they wilt very quickly, so like iris. Beautiful. Used in a deck and put in a vial, they'll last for days. But if we're trying to do something whole with them, they wilt immediately. So it's hard to find blue. So blue is status. We scissor that, so some of you will be helping us cut blue status today because we're still in the need. We have a blue car for Honda that still needs status on it. So I would say that's the hardest color that we deal with. Everything is timed back from when the parade is. So our judging, all these floats, everything goes out on the street. December 31st, starting about 10 in the morning. We put everything out on the street. All of the performers come. Our judging is 3 o'clock in the afternoon on December 31st. That is when it must be done. It isn't the morning of the parade. Our must be done deadline is our judging. So then we can still fine tune, maybe fix the edges, or if there's something really high, or because of the animation, somebody went, oh, the armpit of the lion. guess we missed it. So we get to do those types of things, but for the most part, our deadline is judging December 31st. Then usually at 8 o'clock at night on December 31st, the floats drive up this street over here and they go to parade station. So then we're in by 10 p.m. We still have had no sleep. That's about my break. I get about 3 to 4 hours of relaxation. I don't get to say sleep. I get to the parade line by 11 and we start repairs. A lot of times our drive is very simple from this facility. I'm used to coming out of Azusa, which leaves 1 o'clock Saturday, the December 31st, 1 o'clock in the afternoon for a 9-hour drive from Azusa. So 2 companies, Phoenix and Fiesta, are out there now. They have 9 hours to get their floats here at 5 miles an hour.
Wow.
So we're lucky now to be in this building. It's about our 5th year. I actually started here for my very first parade in 1976 in this building. So anybody doing the math really quick? That's 45 years consecutive. So passion for this business, passion for meeting all of you, and we're going to take a quick trip and then regroup. So come on in on either side. There's a couple different aisles.
Oh.
Oh my God. So every flower head that you see in here, every head will be put on a float. This tent becomes naked when we get ready for flowering, and that's going to start this afternoon. All of these are roses, and every head of a rose goes in a rose vial filled with water. You're going to help us out with some of that today, as well as being on the floats. But we cut the stems. Now off of these mums, we don't put all flowers. We actually glue these flowers to the surface of floats. We pin the moss and all of the greenery. So this is just one side of our flower tent, and I would say probably 2/3 of our flower order. We're still getting flowers in as of today. So more of the tropicals will arrive. So just in roses this year for our 11 floats, we're using 130,000 flowers of roses. That's like
You ever
heads.
have leftovers?
Very rare.
Gotta
So
make up
about
for the armpits.
130,000 roses. Now that's just us. You have to think of the other 30-some floats in the parade. So we're using just a little bit of that.
How many floats do you do and how many are in the parade total?
We do 11, and I believe there's 35 floats this year. I'm really not entirely sure. I haven't done the count. It's changed over the years. It used to be about
How far in advance?
No natural feathers, but we get to use vegetables, barks, all different kinds of seeds, plant materials. That's how the Rose Parade is unique from Macy's and from other parade floats.
How far in advance do you begin sourcing all of your flowers?
August. So we go through a broker downtown in August, and then we start fine-tuning the orders. But we look at some of the designs and we say, oh, gee, we know a wide variety of yellow, red, white roses and that kind of thing.
Are all these roses here in water down below?
Yes, they are all in water. And so then we get through our judging. They're driven by 2 people through the parade, 6 hours or so from start to finish, even though the parade is only, a couple hours. But the whole event for us is a lot longer than that. And then the floats come back, we disassemble, we save the vials. Some people will come and gather some of the flowers afterward, and then we start again.
Well, that was a heck of a day. One we will never forget.
It really was. And my eyes the whole time were just wide open. In my career as a purchasing agent, I've been in a lot of manufacturing plants. Mm-hmm. And for me, I enjoy that kind of experience, just seeing how things are made and really come together.
Yeah. Construction.
Yeah.
Same thing. That's what I loved about construction.
Yeah. But what awed you the most? What were some of the things that really were a wow factor for you?
That everything seemed like it was going so smoothly, even with thousands of people there volunteering. And just one thing, I mean, I just couldn't believe they had a station for glue. But I think it was just knowing that, and from everything that we were told on our tour to begin with, was that, I mean, this starts right away after the parade. They come up with a new theme for the next year, and boom, 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 people are trying to think, okay, well, what's our float going to be? And now the engineers have to come in. Well, somebody comes up with, an idea of what the float will be. And then the engineers are trying to design it, even just the chassis that it sits on. And, then all the artistic people come in. And now we're trying to figure out, well, what kind of mediums are we going to do? What kind of flowers and seeds and any kind of plant medium that can be had and that they can get.
And I would say the same thing, but more on the infrastructure, like organized chaos, because you saw all these worker bees, the volunteers, but they all had a purpose.
Yes.
And the layout, every float was, I think, strategically located for a reason. And, you just had all these people milling around, and they knew what their task was. They knew what they needed to do.
Another thing that I had to think about, I had never thought about before, was the amount of time and money that goes into these floats. I had no idea $500,000 would be what it takes to put together some of these floats. Or smaller towns, a city that wants to have a float in the parade. They're going to fundraise and try to get the money for their floats. So, yeah, it's just, it's a lot bigger deal than I ever thought.
It does take a tremendous amount of support, whether it's the volunteers or the funding to make it all happen.
Right.
As we kind of wrap this thing up, I would liken all this work that's happening on the floats. To me, it's almost like you've got the caterpillar and you've got the butterfly. You have all these volunteers working on these floats, putting a lot of time and energy into it. And then when they unveil the floats, it's almost like it's like that butterfly. Those floats are just so majestic, so beautiful, and the finished product is just it's pretty spectacular.
Yeah. We will never watch the Rose Parade the same again.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah. We learned a lot.
But we've got more coming, and next in tap is what they call the Quest Fest.
Yeah.
We're even going to take you behind the scenes because we had some pretty amazing interviews.
Oh my gosh. We met some cool people.
And pictures. So you'll definitely want to stay tuned for that because we had a blast at Equest Fest.
We did. All right. Well, till then. We'll see you on the road.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the trails. Bye for now.